Hi, Julie Jones from SSP Performance, Smarter, Stronger, Better Mindset Training, here with this week's Mindset Made Simple Tip of the Week, brought to you by Game Day Sportswear. This week we're talking about you're in for a rude awakening. How our behavior is affected by learning and growth, and the fact that our behavior is a choice. Well, I've gotten to spend the past week working with amazing people. Last week started at Portland State University, where I got to spend quite a few days with the women's basketball program. I've worked with college and high school athletes in between, and yesterday I wrapped up the week in Michigan with the Michigan Finesse Fast Pitch Organization. They've got about 60 teams. We're running a year-long program for them. And during all this time, I've learned a ton. One of the lessons that I've learned is that the things that we do, the things that you do, the things that I do with the teams that I work with, and you can be one of my teams too, if you like, we can talk about that. Reach out to me later. But the things that we do to instill mental tools are vital to our success. That's number one. I see it time and time again. And as I listen and watch, this mental side of the game is crucial to success. Number two, I learned that behavior is a choice. We sometimes think that training can change behavior, but behavior is a choice. And our behavior supersedes our skill sets. It doesn't matter how great our skill set is if our behavior doesn't match what the program needs, doesn't match what the situation calls for. If our behavior is not where it needs to be, we are not going to be successful. And as we look to the beginning of this year, as we bring kids on the campus, as we start new jobs, whatever it might be, we are going to find a lot of situations that bring discomfort. Whenever we're trying to grow, we get uncomfortable. We don't like change. We know that. We have a negativity bias. We can find a problem in everything. We know that. If we're not instantly good at something, we don't like it. And that is what's going to happen. And that's where the rude awakening comes. You know it. You see it every year. They don't know it yet. This rude awakening is about to happen. Over the next week or so, our athletes are going to be sore. They're going to be tired. They're going to be pushed. They're going to be challenged. They're going to be excited. They're going to have all these emotions. They're going to need to balance their own time. They're going to be not sleeping like they normally do. All of these things don't affect their skill set as much. It might affect their reaction times and things like that, but they're not going to lose their skill set based on their ability to manage what's right ahead of them. But their behavior that can be affected by all these things will impact their performance and their skill set. The discomfort that they're going to feel can either make or break them over the course of their career. They're going to feel pressure to start right away. We don't know where that might come from. They're going to feel pressure to keep up. My dad was a high school track coach, and he told me that there was nothing that they could do. He had lots of athletes who went on to run in Division I, all divisions, had some pro runners, a couple Olympian type Team USA people. He said there was nothing that they could do to really prepare them for college training as a high school coach, because the training didn't allow for it. Their meet schedule didn't allow for it. The pressure didn't allow for it. It's just not the same. We're in for a rude awakening. But we can help our athletes understand that their behavior is a choice. Just because they're tired, just because they're stressed, just because they can't do a drill, just because they don't know what they're doing, doesn't mean that they can't compete. It doesn't mean that they can't communicate. It doesn't mean that they can't build relationships. It doesn't mean that they can't hustle. Those are behaviors that we need to see. Those are the behaviors that ultimately separate us. Everyone coming in thinks that the skills that got them recruited are all they need to worry about. Some of them think that they can just use those same exact skills to compete at the next level. Not going to happen. We know that. But really, it's the behaviors that go along with everything that they're doing that really separate it out. It's their responses. It's their ability to see when they're frustrated. All those behavioral behavioral tendencies that they have are going to make the difference. And we know that. It's growth mindset time for all of us. It's taking the learning and the discomfort that learning brings. Whenever there is discomfort, that means we're growing and embracing that as an opportunity. Can we get them to understand that the changes that they're making, change is hard, and we're going to ask for a lot of change over the next few months from them. If we can get them to understand that this change is helping them grow and get better and become the person they want to be, then we're moving in the right direction. But that's really hard. How do we get from this discomfort that turns us into sometimes the person that we don't want to be, that behavior? How do we get them from there to looking at these opportunities like, yes, this is hard, but it's building me up and I'm getting better. It's hard because we're the ones that are making them feel the discomfort. How can we help them? I've got 3 different options. Number one, if you go to my website, go to ssbperformance.com/downloads, you can find an after practice review. They can fill out this review, think about what went well, think about things that they would like to change in how they handled things, think about areas where they need to grow, and then think about how they were a good teammate or what went well for the team. There's a few different questions in there that they can answer. A great thing to get them to sort of look for the growth opportunities in the struggle. When they're on the struggle bus, it's a good thing to do. The second thing you can have them do, or as an alternate choice, give them a piece of paper turned this way. Have them write on the top something that's causing them stress or something that's very hard for them. Then have them ask a couple questions, and the questions are these, and they're on the website. If you go to the blog, you can download these. What's the purpose of this drill, skill, or event? And what will it help me accomplish? They need to write the answer down below whatever the thing is. Then they draw an arrow, write the answer. And then they're going to draw another arrow, and they're going to ask, how will working through that skill or drill get them closer to the player that they want to be? This helps them tie the things that are hard to the big picture. So we're taking the thing that's hard, we're asking what it's going to do for us or why we're doing it, because sometimes they're like, why am I doing this? This is stupid. It has nothing to do with softball. It has nothing to do with soccer. I don't know, whatever sport you play or whatever thing that you do, whatever you lead. Why am I doing this when I'm trying to sell this? Write it down, whatever's causing me stress. What's it doing for me? What's it tied to? And then how is this going to make me better? There are other questions in there that you can use too, but these questions tie these things to the big picture, help keep them motivated to do the things that they don't want to do or they don't like doing, but they have to do because it's part of the process. It's a great little exercise that I think can help sort of pull everything back full circle to say, yes, this is what we're doing, and here is how it's making you a great player. If you don't have time for all those, you can just have them do an evidence journal. What things are going well? How are they getting better? 3 simple things. How are they getting better? Because getting them to see the opportunity in the growth is vitally important to helping them behave in the way that will help them be a better player. We know that our choices make a difference on where we're headed. Our behavior is a choice. And we need to be making good choices so that we can use our skill set to our advantage. Because again, our behavior will supersede our skill set if our behavior doesn't match the time, the place, the event, the expectation, whatever it is. We know that if we can do this and keep a growth mindset, we can get into continuous improvement. We can embrace the discomfort, and we can continue to become better at whatever it is we're supposed to do. Author and psychologist Jim Loehr says, the human spirit is the most powerful and resilient force on earth, and our choices are the ultimate expression of that spirit. Our choices make a difference. Our behavior is a choice. And if we have a great skill set and we behave in ways that allow us to shine, we're going to be just fine. But in between those 2 things often is discomfort in the learning, in the challenge, in the new system. But there's a couple tools in this tip that can help them, help our athletes, help all of us tie the things that are binding us to that ultimate goal. and I hope you'll check those out. Until next week, manage the moments, manage the discomfort, and check it out, ssbperformance.com/downloads for the after practice review worksheet. Have a great week.